Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. Today we revisit one of the darkest and most heartbreaking chapters in recent royal history. September 8th, 2022, the day Queen Elizabeth II passed away. News reports grew urgent. The Queen, the nation's constant, was unwell at Balmoral. People gathered outside Buckingham Palace, faces etched with concern, a testament to the monarch who had been a feature of their lives for 70 years. It was a scene of profound public grief, a family of millions waiting for news about their matriarch. The announcement, when it came, was simple and stark. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. A chapter of history had closed, and the nation began mourning a figure who seemed eternal. Beneath this shared sorrow, a different drama unfolded behind the royal institution's closed doors. While the world saw a family united in loss, the reality was more complex. The monarchy's machinery was grinding into motion, managing a transition of power and controlling a narrative. Some family members were deemed more central, their grief more valid. On the outside, a spectacle of unity. On the inside, a story of division. The public saw only the choreographed movements of a family in mourning, but unseen currents of hierarchy and personal feelings shaped events in ways the public could not comprehend. The story of that day is not just of a monarch's passing, but of a family's deep fractures brought into sharp relief by grief. The contrast was striking, a nation coming together to honour a legacy, while a family dealt with old wounds and fresh pain. The public narrative was one of unity, but the reality was far more complex. In Windsor, Prince Harry received the news of his grandmother's declining health. He was in the UK for charity events, and the instinct was immediate. He had to go to her. For Harry, the Queen was not just a monarch, she was his grandmother. Beside him, Meghan's reaction was one of support. They prepared to travel to Scotland, assuming they would be welcome. Their team made travel arrangements, believing their presence was appropriate. The world's media reported the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were on their way to Balmoral. But in the royal family, protocol and politics often overshadow natural human responses. The announcement of their travel plans sent ripples through the palace. The decision to travel together would soon collide with royal authority. The phone call from King Charles was devastating. Meghan was not to come to Balmoral. The instruction was stark, leaving no room for discussion. In profound grief, Harry was told his wife was not welcome. The reason was vague, but the subtext was clear. It was a personal decision, not logistical. Harry was torn between duty to his grandmother and loyalty to his wife. Meghan was not a stranger, she was the Queen's granddaughter-in-law. To exclude her felt less like protocol and more like punishment. The message was clear. Harry could return, but only on their terms. The public narrative of unity was a fiction, the reality was exclusion. The official reason for Meghan's exclusion was limiting numbers to closest family. It was suggested other royal spouses like Kate were also not attending. However, this reasoning quickly falls apart under scrutiny. Kate's absence was framed as a responsible choice for her children's first school day. Meghan's situation was different. Her children were in California. She was in the UK, available to support Harry. The excuse of distraction suggested the family's concern was public perception. The logic of exclusion was flawed and discriminatory. It was not about a blanket rule for wives, but a specific rule for Meghan. The decision was not about protocol. It was about prejudice. Even in family tragedy, Meghan was considered an outsider. The palace was comfortable with William alone, but not Harry and Meghan together. The exclusion was a clear signal of her unwelcome presence. After the painful call, Harry made his own way to Balmoral. Other royals travelled together, but Harry was alone. He arranged a private flight, a solitary journey north. His plane landed in Scotland as the world learned of the Queen's passing. He learned of her death from news alerts, not family. The chance to say goodbye was denied. He arrived too late, missing the final moments. The heartbreak was immense, amplified by family isolation. He walked into Balmoral not to a united family, but to profound sadness. His stay was brief. He left the next morning. The journey back mirrored the lonely journey there. It underscored his isolation at a vulnerable moment. Meghan Markle found herself in a difficult position. Excluded from the private farewell, she was expected to perform a public role. Every move was scrutinized, every gesture interpreted. She was watched with a critical eye, not sympathy. Her role was one of quiet support for Harry. She stood by his side, a steadying presence. During the procession she adhered to royal protocols. Her dignity was remarkable, showing respect for the Queen. Despite her conduct, she faced relentless criticism. Her emotions were deemed inauthentic, a living paradox. Through it all, Meghan displayed strength and grace. Her composure was a testament to her character. 2 days after the Queen's death, a surprising spectacle unfolded. Outside Windsor Castle, William and Kate appeared with Harry and Meghan. It was a moment of apparent unity. The Fab Four reunited. The public cheered, hoping for reconciliation. The walkabout was a powerful piece of public relations. Behind the smiles, the reality was complicated. The invitation was a strategic move, not spontaneous love. The awkwardness was palpable, a fragile truce. The exclusion of Meghan from Balmoral was the silent context. The walkabout did not erase the painful event. It demonstrated the monarchy's focus on image over substance. The decision to exclude Meghan was a defining moment, revealing fault lines within the monarchy. My darlings, what do you think? Should Meghan have been allowed at Balmoral, or was this yet another calculated move to humiliate her and isolate Harry? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because the truth about the Sussexes deserves to be heard. Until next time, this is Adrian with Love and Light, signing off from Meghan and Harry Tales.